and welcome into To Your Health. You know, we call this show the time of your life because as you're aging, we want this to be a good time of your life. What will make that possible is that you feel good both physically and mentally. So the Herb Shop has got a way that they can test and help you to do that. Carl Schmidt, you're here from the Herb Shop, Vaughn Road in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center. Been there for 30 years, and you're doing some things. You use the story of your mother,
Right.
who got diagnosed with cancer, all these things happening, and actually given a short period of time to live, and now is flourishing.
Yeah, my mother just turned 97. Her birthday is the day after Christmas, and just before she turned 93, she was in the hospital with a lot of pain and discomfort, and through the different testing, they had found cancer, stage 4 liver cancer, and really didn't think she had but a few months, maybe weeks to live. And so that was, grim news, but we, my family and I, they love what I do, and they embraced it and said, let's take this on. And my mother had other conditions. She had trigeminal neuralgia. She's on blood pressure medication. She's on thyroid medications. And so I got more directly involved in managing and supervising her health. And we have different devices like the pulse electromagnetic device that helps improve circulation. So she was living in a retirement property in Auburn near my sister, and we would take her and bring her home and to my place and cook meals. I did a lot of testing that identified what to do. So I knew she had the cancer. I knew how the cancer happened. The way the cancer happened was she had had a hysterectomy in the 1980s and had a large amount of blood that had to be transfused because she lost blood during the surgery. And 20 years or 30 years later, she had liver numbers that were 300 when normal's 20. And so they determined she had a variation of hepatitis that can damage the liver. Well, when the liver gets damaged to that level, there is a medication, but it took a year to get the approval to use the medication, and the medication's in a price range of $80,000 for like 12 pills. You take one pill a week. And so that got the kind of cured the hepatitis, but then the way that they had to wait and the time period that the hepatitis was making the liver enzyme so high set up, another decade goes by and then bam, there's liver cancer. So it was a process, but I did urine testing, I did blood testing, I did different labs to identify lots of different toxicities that were in her body, because I knew, yes, that was how the cancer was formed, but I also knew if I could remove other workloads with dealing with environmental toxins and dietary inflammation and lots of moving parts. So I put her on a plan of supplements and different tests and different equipment that I have at the shop, wellness center. And the cancer got worse in the first 6 months. It was growing, like the doctor had said. And then it started to turn the corner in the next 6 months. Then she had COVID, which was very hard on her. And that was very difficult. That I was able to bring in my siblings. I have a niece that's a nurse and another niece that's a nurse. And when my mother had COVID, we rallied around and had 24/7 2 people with her, watching her, doing her vitals, and getting her, making sure we did different nebulizing of a silver product. We did movements of her to help her lymphatics. We did all these things, and she got over COVID. So then we got back into a routine of the basic supplements to get back to dealing with the cancer. When I work with someone, I don't just look at like what the name of the disease is. I look at the big picture, because every organ, that old song, the knee bone's connected to the leg bone, the leg bone's, well, everything's connected. You can't just micromanage one issue. You've got to universally work on the health of the body, because everything tag teams with everything else. It's a definitely team with your organs, and you've got to keep them all going, because if any one organ fails, the others it's a chain reaction. And so it was just a process. So I offer this for other people that wherever, if they're homebound or whether they live too far away, we can do different things through ordering kits to be mailed to them. They can There's saliva samples. There's different finger prick samples. There are different ways we can do and get more clinical information, and then we can set people out on a supplement schedule that can feed them, whether they can need help packaging the pills or whether they have some caregiver. We can be a tag team with whatever level of care they want to start and work with. And they don't have to have a huge, serious condition like cancer. They can just go, I can see my memories maybe a little slipping. Maybe I don't have the agility I want. Maybe whatever. If they want to get, back to where they felt 5 years or 10 years before. So, because anyone that's in their later years, 80s, 90s, they know that they're getting weaker. You can be 50 and know you're getting weaker. And muscle loss is very common as we age. And so there's ways that we can support the body and make all the systems working at their best level.
Well, that's a good way to do it. And of course, you can do it right there at the shop, as you say. The most important thing is to come in and get an assessment.
Right.
Just like when your car's not running right, you go to the body. You go to the service department, and they put a machine on there to say, this is what's causing this.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with you.
Right.
So it can work.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And of course, the herb shop is located in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center, which is on Vaughn Road.
Right.
And you do specialize in obviously everybody, but you're putting more emphasis on seniors now too.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. And remember, the herb shop's in the Pepper Tree Shopping Center, open 6 days a week from 10 in the morning till 6 in the afternoon. We'll be right back right after this.